So Toronto Water is responsible for all the operations, maintenance, and treatment of water in the city. The system itself was designed and engineered to treat just human waste and toilet paper, right? Because they break down naturally, they break down by bacteriological action, right? So anything outside of that has to be taken out of the system. So you can imagine all these solids that are coming in. Not only do they fill up at the plant, so you're getting all these solids caught in things that aren't supposed to be there, but in our pipes, any of those solids that aren't supposed to be there, that don't break down naturally, cause backups in the pipes. You have baby wipes, fat oil and grease, dental floss, all those things get wrapped up together in the pipes and cause a blockage. So, and that can happen in the main sewer itself, and it can also happen in the sewage pipe that leaves your house. And that happens probably more often, well not probably, definitely more often than the actual sewers being backed up, because the sewers are quite large, they can take a lot. And then the result of that is, of course, that sewage has only one place to go, and that's people's basements. And we have to go out and clean that up. So not only is there damage to somebody's basement, and their basement is full of sewage in that case, which is bad, obviously, that can cost them, tens of thousands of dollars, in some cases hundreds of thousands of dollars. But we then have to go in and clear that out. So now it's our time to go out there and have it out. So we do that in both the sewage pipes that leave the house, and we do it in our main sewers. So we have to go in there sometimes with a cutting tool to break it up, and then we flush it. Main contributors, again, dental floss and wipes, fat oil and grease. If you combine all those together, they all stick together. Fat oil and grease, when you pour it down your drain, is liquid, but then once it gets into the sewer itself, it hardens to the point where in some cases we had a very small pumping station where the grease built up so much, it built up several feet of grease, about 10 feet of solid grease, oil, fat oil and grease, solid grease, and you could literally stand on it. Floss for pumps is one of the most damaging ones because it's strong and fibrous. So stuff like that will get caught in our pumps, and it'll get caught around anything. It also can cause backups in the system. So if that pump stops pumping, we have the cost of going in there to actually clear the pump up, but the pumping station can then fill up and overflow into people's basements as well. So we don't want that. If you have a backup where that sewage now has nowhere to go but build up, and most sewage pumping stations are in close proximity to a water course, and that's where they ultimately overflow. The other much more common way is through our combined sewer system. So in a combined sewer system, the way it was designed, because it takes both sanitary flow and rainwater, you can imagine during a really heavy rain, a pipe that might be, literally, 5-6 feet around, normally has just, maybe a foot or two of sanitary in it, but when it rains, it's full. So if that gets more than full, we don't want that backing up into the local system and flooding people's basements or flooding the roads, so they all have an overflow into the lake or a water course. And that's obviously a problem to aquatic life. It's a problem for the enjoyment of things like the beaches and in the harbor, where a lot of these outfalls exist in either like rivers and streams, but in the harbor area around, in some cases around our beaches. Those things would contaminate the beach, they would contaminate the streams and rivers and harm aquatic life, but also, we have to go clean that up. It's extremely costly, and it reduces people's enjoyment of our beautiful waterfront as well. Every municipality that's by a water course, everyone has some sort of, if they have combined sewers, has an overflow into a water course, which is not good. The costs that we incur are ultimately passed on to our residents through their water rate, right? So it helps us all, obviously, if we don't do these things and educate people. And sometimes there's a absolute direct correlation, so that if you're doing this in your own home, more often than not, you're plugging your own pipe, and then that you're backing up yourself. And in some cases, you're backing up your neighbors. It's really to just educate yourself as to what should and should not be in the drain and keep it out. So, and don't pour paint and Varsol and things down your drain, which people do all the time. All of these things cause problems, backups, and cost the city money and cost residents money. Keep it out.